Hi, beautiful. We're reading in A Course in Miracles. The text, chapter 21, Reason and Perception. Section 1, The Forgotten Song. Paragraph 8. Beyond the body, beyond the sun and stars, past everything you see and yet somehow familiar, is an arc of golden light that stretches as you look into a great and shining circle, and all the circle fills with light before your eyes. The edges of the circle disappear, and what is in it is no longer contained at all. The light expands and covers everything, extending to infinity, forever shining, and with no break or limit anywhere. Within it, everything is joined in perfect continuity. Nor is it possible to imagine that anything could be outside, for there is nowhere that this light is not. This is the vision of the Son of God, whom you know well. Here is the sight of him who knows his Father. Here is the memory of what you are, a part of this, with all of it within, and joined to all as surely as all is joined in you. Accept the vision that can show you this, and not the body. You know the ancient song and know it well. Nothing will ever be as dear to you as is this ancient hymn of love the Son of God sings to his Father still. And now the blind can see, for that same song they sing in honor of their Creator gives praise to them as well. The blindness that they made will not withstand the memory of this song, and they will look upon the vision of the Son of God, remembering who he is they sing of. What is a miracle but this remembering? And who is there in whom this memory lies not? The light in one awakens it in all. And when you see it in your brother, you are remembering for everyone. It's a really beautiful concept that the light in one awakens it in all. We're taught in A Course in Miracles that all minds are joined, that you can't really have a private thought. I had an experience a while back where a friend mentioned to me that she thought my other friend had a funny looking nose. And I hadn't noticed that because I thought my other friend's nose looked beautiful. It was perfect. So I wasn't really sure what they meant, but they hadn't said this to my friend. But then shortly later, this other friend, whose nose she had criticized, came over and said, you know, I've been thinking today that I have a funny looking nose. And that was really odd to me. I was like, is this coincidence? I'd never heard her say anything about her nose before. And I assured her that her nose was beautiful and that I loved her nose. I wouldn't change a thing about it. But I couldn't help but wonder if this is literally true, that there are no private thoughts. And that if we're saying nice things to someone's face, but thinking mean things about them behind their back, we might as well be saying it out loud. If there are no private thoughts. Speaking for myself only, I can say that when I made a conscious choice and made it a habit to not think ill of others ever, and to catch myself if I was and correct the thought, then my life is so much more peaceful. We're also taught in A Course in Miracles that what we wish for others is secretly what we wish for ourselves. So another thing I noticed is that I became much less self-critical. And that created an environment that was more happy and safe because I wasn't being self-critical. There are so many psychological benefits to applying these principles. There's the sentence, accept the vision that can show you this and not the body. And this does sometimes perplex me a little bit because it's like, well, this is a learning advice. Who cares? Can't we accept both? Or the way I'm interpreting it at this point is that, sure, this is a perceptual reality, but it's not the ultimate reality. And when we accept our ultimate reality, the ultimate truth, the truth behind the illusion, that all is one, and that everything is inseparable. Essentially, what our physicists are saying is the quantum field, the unified field. It's not so different than what's being described here. That everything does have a causal relationship. I can't sit here thinking ill of my brother and thinking it's not doing harm. It is. And if nothing else, it's doing harm to me, if I choose that, which I no longer do. And I invite all of us today and moving forward to pay attention to the thoughts we're having and to choose gentle thoughts. Sometimes if someone's acting especially egregious and I'm feeling upset by someone's behavior, it really helps me to remind myself, I don't know why they're acting that way. And that's okay. I don't have to understand. I don't have to know. And I can still withhold judgment. I don't have to judge what I don't understand. I can simply admit I don't understand. If someone's acting crazy, and from my perspective, I would have to be likewise crazy to understand why a crazy person does what they do. So instead of descending into madness to understand them, I can offer them grace and just be grateful that I don't have to understand that particular kind of crazy that causes that kind of behavior. And I can also acknowledge that I've suffered from different issues with my well-being before. I'm not immune. Who am I to judge anyone else? Here is the memory of what you are, a part of this, with all of it within, and joined to all as surely as all is joined in you. Thank you so much for being here. This isn't preschool stuff. This is master's level stuff. So if it seems difficult, it's supposed to be, in a sense. And yet, of course, in Miracles, paradoxically, lets us know that nothing can be easier, because all we're being asked to do is let go of pain and accept that in truth, you are whole and complete. And that if we're judging our brother, we're really actually secretly judging ourselves. And that instead of seeing their errors in thinking and hyper-focusing on their flaws or their perceived flaws, or looking at the ego, we can look past the ego at the perfection of what lies beyond the ego. It's an invitation. And the more we do it, the easier life gets, and the more peaceful life gets, and then we realize, okay, this is actually way easier than what I was doing before. But it can feel challenging to get there, because it does require that we are vigilant with the way we choose to treat others and think about them, which ultimately impacts how we treat ourselves and think about ourselves. Because there are no separate thoughts. Have a beautiful day. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you soon.